Hello, so I'm back in Elite Dangerous again. This time it's the Legacy Horizons version though. So this is 3.8 of Elite Dangerous. So when Odyssey was released, we went over to the 4.0 version, and we had the 4.0 version of Elite Dangerous Odyssey and the 4.0 version of Horizons, and that's the live game. That's the way you need to play if you want your progress to carry over into the live game. But they did keep on as an option version 3.8, which is now called the Legacy Horizons, and any progress you make in 3.8 won't actually carry over to the live game, but it still gives you an option to play it, which is, it's good enough, I suppose. And the reason I wanted to go into this was mainly because it always performed better. The performance was always better in Horizons for 3.8 rather than the 4.0 version, and also in VR it looked better. And I don't know if I'm alone. Well, I'm certainly not alone in that, but I don't know if that's the common perception or not, but it just does. It looks better than the 4.0 version in VR, and I'm not saying that that's the case for the flat version. And there's arguments to be made for both, because you could argue that there's more realistic lighting and things like that in the 4.0 version, but just in VR, this looks better. I mean, there's no question this looks better in the Pimax Crystal especially. So of course that's what I'm playing this in. I wanted to try this out, and you can see I've got FPS VR up at the bottom of this display there, where you can see I'm running at 90 frames per second, plenty of performance headroom, especially on the CPU. We weren't getting that on Odyssey on 4.0, which I was playing in my first video. But of course it varies a lot. I'm in space here and it can vary a lot in terms of performance. Let's just have a look, see what's in this system. This, because it's the Legacy version, okay, there are bodies here, but I've not scanned them before, so let's leave that for now. But I will see in a moment, see if I can find a planet to land on, just so we can see how it performs on planet surfaces and stuff like that. But yeah, there's plenty of headroom. I also want to try out the 120Hz mode in the Pimax Crystal at some point, and I might make that my next video actually, doing some stuff with that. Although I also want to get into Project Cars 2, a racer, just to see how that looks and performs in this headset as well. But performance wise, I can already tell it's more consistent than playing in 4.0. And I'm in two minds about this. I don't really play a lot of the live game anyway. I don't really follow along with what's happening in the story or the ongoing conflict with the Thargoids and things like that. I don't really get involved with that stuff. I just play it. So I'm thinking, honestly, maybe I'll just stick to the Legacy Horizons. The only thing is that anything I do in this, it won't carry over to the live game. So if I do eventually decide to play in the live version of the game, then it's I'm going to be losing all the progress I've made in this, but I don't know if that really matters to me or not. But anyway, let's make a jump to a different system. The other advantage of this, by the way, is you don't seem to get, and we'll see in a moment, because this is the first time I've played it in a while, but with 3.8 you don't seem to get the weird glitching where you come out of Super Cruise, or when you make a jump to a system, you always get this weird glitching on 4.0, and that's been there since the release of Odyssey. And you can see you get little performance hitches as it's loading in the next area and stuff. But that's always been the case, and no glitches at all there. So yeah, little performance spikes there as we've gone in. That's always been the case with Elite anyway. See if we've got any bodies here. I might have to scan them manually because I'm out in the middle of nowhere. I've not played this for a long time, and when I went back in I was halfway to Colonia again, so it's a little bit put me in the middle of nowhere really. There's 13 bodies, see if they've been discovered. So there are, but there's no landable planets unfortunately, so I can't land on anything. It's a bit of a shame where I am in this version of the game, but anyway, I'm gonna play a little bit more, and maybe I'll do an update video on this. But let's just go into some of my settings anyway at the moment, because I'm not running actually on rock bottom settings or anything like that. So let's just go into the options, graphics, And this is the thing, I've got a little bit of headroom in spite of that sort of fluctuation and the spikes here and there, which is just sort of inherent with the game. I've got a bit of headroom. So we've got a custom setting here. I think I've based this off VR medium, but we've got texture quality high. Hope you can see this okay actually on the mirrored image that I'll be uploading to YouTube. But so texture quality high, shadow quality high. I can push some of these up. Bloom is off and blur is off. Anti-aliasing, see, this is the thing, I usually do have this turned off. But if we, so I think it's different. So on the 4.0 version, you've got options with FSR and stuff like that with the SMAA version of anti-aliasing. But on the 3.8 version, they've not implemented that, but that's okay. Let me just try turning anti-aliasing off and see, because the image looks great anyway. I'll probably, you do get a little bit of pixel crawl. I've not applied it. So that was with MSAA anyway. There's not a lot of difference when it's on or off, to be honest. Let me just have a quick look. Anti-aliasing, let's put it on SMAA. Yeah, that's slightly better anyway. This will vary. I need to look into the anti-aliasing. This is the thing I was saying in the original video. There is still a little bit of pixel crawl on certain edges of things, and this was especially noticeable in No Man's Sky, which I was generally running at slightly lower settings anyway, because in this, what I'm doing with super sampling, we've got that 1.0, and then the HMD image quality is 1.25, which I think I could probably, if I put it up to 1.5, we might be pushing things a little bit too far. Yeah, so that's pushed us into reprojection now. I am playing this through Steam VR, so it's using the Steam VR version of, let me just recenter, of the motion smoothing. So it looks okay, but let's just fly around for a little bit, see what I think. So we're just about, not quite hitting 90 with that level of super sampling. And honestly, I don't really think it needs it. I'm just going to turn that back down because I'm not noticing a huge difference anyway with that. So let me just turn that back down to 1.25. Just to give us that little bit of boost. But while I'm here, let's go through this other stuff. So we're on medium, high, medium. There's a lot of stuff on medium really, just a few things in high. And then I've also increased the terrain work a little bit as well. Terrain quality medium. So I think we're generally on roughly VR medium settings. But the image quality to me is so much better than in the 4.0 in VR. So I would love to actually land on a planet to see how that runs. I'm nowhere near any stations or anything like that, so I've got no hope there. But I'll play this. I'll continue to play this for a while, and then I'll see if I can get somewhere to go into this a little bit deeper in another video. But for anybody that is picking up the Pimax Crystal, I would actually, and you want to play this game, I would encourage you to try the Legacy Horizons version just to see how good it looks. The stars look so much better in this version as well. I don't know if the skybox is different or it's the location of the galaxy that I'm in, because they do change as you vary your locations. And it might just be where I am in the 4.0 version of the game that it's a little bit different. But this really does look good to me. The lighting just looks better. Maybe not quite as realistic, and that's the argument you could have for 4.0. But performance it's definitely better in this as well. So I guess I'm repeating myself a little bit, but I did just want to see what this was like, and I'll probably be posting some more videos. I'm hoping to get some more out for the weekend as well. As I mentioned, Project Cars 2. Hopefully I'll have some more things to say on this Legacy Horizons once I can get somewhere with a bit more stuff. And then just general things to mention as well on the Pimax Crystal. I will look into that 120Hz mode and see how it performs. I believe I've got the fibre optic cable, and there were some people that were saying that it can't run the 120Hz or it struggles to run it in some ways. I've seen some people mention that. I think I had a comment on one of my videos about it, so I want to check that out at some point, and I might do that in Half-Life Alyx actually, but we'll see how we go. But anyway, just a quick one from me this time, just touching on Elite Dangerous in the Pimax Crystal. This looks stunning. I've not even gone into how clear the text looks and stuff on those settings. It looks stunning. This is the clearest I've seen Elite Dangerous. And that very central part, the Reverb G2, was very, very sharp. And maybe there's... with that very central area, maybe it's not hugely more than that, but I have not got the Reverb G2 anymore, and I'd need to look into that, because the text is absolutely just completely clear. Yeah, but anyway, rambling again, so I'll close this one off, but plenty more Pimax Crystal stuff to come in the future. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.